So we're here with Hazel, who's going to take us through a jacket which I've actually just reviewed on site, the Ether Driclime 2.0. Hazel.
Hi.
Tell us more.
So Ether's something that we've done for numerous years. You'll be familiar with it as a product. You've probably had one previously at some point.
I have had, I think, two prior to this one. So it was a weird review to write because I feel like I've gone through probably the last 10, 15 years wearing either Driclime or Ether-based product, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a long-standing product. It disappeared out of our range for a little bit, which frightened a few people.
It frightened me, yeah.
But because we were working on making it better. So I'm wearing one of the versions. It's not the version that's available to buy currently. Mine doesn't have a hood.
Sneak preview.
Sneak preview. These that are available now got a little zip-away hood in the neck. So that gives you quite a nice collar.
Which is one of the things, because in terms of the feel, I felt like it was a slightly warmer jacket than its predecessor. And one of the nice things about that is in its collar, because it actually gives a really nice, up neck covering that just gives it a slightly more, I've used the word luxury, I think, just because it's got that fleecy lining as well. But on a cold day, it's lovely.
So it's got that bi-component fleece liner that we've always used, so that hasn't changed. So it's super wicky, it's really warm for its weight. It's a really light product, but feels warmer than you would expect. You've got that wind shell on the outside. This is one of the things we've changed massively.
And this is partially in terms of recycled materials, because I know that is one of the major things that Marmot have obviously been putting more time and effort into, is the sustainability of the product, basically.
Yeah, because it's the right thing to do, so using recycled content where we can, but appropriately. So not just using recycled content because we want it to be recycled, it's still got to perform at the right level or above.
And the thing about this is, as I say, in terms of this versus its predecessor, the only thing I noticed is it's a bit warmer because of the absence of venting under the arm.
Yeah.
I didn't notice inferior performance because of any of the materials.
No.
It performed, well, dare I say, exactly the same, with differences and improvements to things like the fabric. Yeah, there's no negative really at all.
So those vents you mentioned have been moved to the inside, so you don't get that external draft that you previously would have done, which makes it feel warmer, so that's great. But having a little bit of mesh under your arms means you get a little bit of ventilation if you're overheating. This face fabric is 100% recycled and part made from recycled fishing nets.
Which is incredible.
Which is great. So it's by a company called Econil. So there's lots of information online if people want to find out more about that. It's also now got a little bit of stretch in it.
Which is noticeable, just in terms of the very basics of just my initial test, which is really crude for any jacket, is simply put it on, lift your arms above your head, and if it raises up to your nipples, it's a fail. And if it keeps where it is around your waist, it's a pass. Yeah. It's really simple. Yeah. But it does the trick. With the new Ether Driclime, that's one of the things that's most notable. It's just that little bit more give within the jacket that complements the fit.
Yeah, which also just means that when you're moving around, you're climbing, it just moves with you. There's no resistance. It also means that this face fabric's now a matte finish. Previous ones were a little bit shiny. And
I like that. It looks nicer, well, from a really crude perspective, just on the shelf, I think, from a end user perspective. It's a more aesthetic finish, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes in some great colours. The look's better. It's looking much more on point with fashion of today, whereas its predecessor definitely was looking a little bit dated. That's gone. New times, recycled, lots of great additions. What's not to love?
And in terms of who it's for, I mean, one of the things, I think I could just wax lyrical about this for ages, and if you want to read more, have a look at the review. But one of the things I've liked most about Driclimes in general is you can use them for everything. With this one, I've maybe used it, I'd say it's become more appropriate actually as almost that micro, super light belay jacket, but that you can also use on the move, because it is that best of both worlds. You've got a bit of fleece, you've got a bit of windproofing, but it's breathable, but it's light, but it actually gives a lot of warmth for its relative weight. So the only area that I thought it differed was for some super high, sort of output activities such as running. It's a little bit warmer. Yeah. But then that means that you could probably use it more throughout those winter months, whereas you wouldn't run in it throughout the warmer months. So it's still a fantastically versatile jacket, and it's a really hard jacket to find fault in, basically.
And that's what we want to hear. That's what we were aiming for.
And I think that's a reasonable time to wrap up. If you want to read the review, visit UK Climbing, UK Hill Walking, and take a look at it.